Hi everyone, so today I'm going to teach you how to build your brand online, even if you are running an e-commerce store or your own personal brand. If you like videos like this, do consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel because every day I'll be launching new videos like this to help you to grow and scale your e-commerce business. So let's look at today's topic right now. Now let's look at what exactly is branding. A brand is the gut feeling reaction that your company or products elicit from people. Branding them is the act of cultivating that brand. The next question that a lot of you have been asking me is, John, why do I need branding? Why do I need branding? Firstly, it helps you to stand out from competition, and also it helps you to build your brand recognition. Thirdly, of course, it creates a consistent experience for your customers, and it also makes your customers loyal. So now the question is how to start on branding. All right, so I'm going to share with you practical steps on how you can start on branding. The first step, of course, is looking at your brand identity. All right, so simply put, brand identity is a way to communicate with the world, differentiate yourself from your competition, and create a brand experience that encourages people to engage with you. So what does a brand identity include? These are the things that is included in your brand identity. It could be logos, colors, data visualization, web design, video motion, so on and so forth. Okay, so you must remember that your brand identity should translate across all mediums. All right, so you need to make sure that everything is consistent. So here are some keys to a strong brand identity. All right, it must be distinct. It needs to stand out from the competitors and catches people's attention. All right, you want to make sure that it's memorable. All right, so one example, of course, is the Apple logo. All right, it makes a visual impact. All right, so the Apple logo is so memorable, right, that they only have the logo, and you realize that they don't have their name on it. All right, so another example is like MasterCard. All right, so these are just examples of logos that are very, very memorable. Then of course it must be scalable and flexible. It can grow and evolve with the brand. Okay, it must be cohesive. All right, so each piece complements the other brand identity. All right, and this is very, very critical for your designers. It must be easy to apply, so it's intuitive and clear for the designers to use. So here's the step-by-step guide to actually guiding a strong brand identity. Now, step one is to complete your brand strategy. All right, so it comprises of your brand messaging. So what exactly is brand messaging? It means your brand voice, your personality, your tagline, value proposition, your brand messaging pillars. All right, so what is your brand message? What is the message that you want to send across that people can resonate? The next thing is the brand heart. What is your purpose? What is your vision? What is your mission? What are your core values? What is important to you? All right, so this is what we call the brand heart. And of course, the brand identity, which we just covered earlier, your logo, your colors, etc. So step two is digging into your current brand identity. So whether you're building your brand identity entirely from scratch or updating a stale identity, you need a full assessment of the current state of your brand identity. All right, how people feel about your brand. All right, so what does your brand represent? And how that brand identity might be crafted or tweaked to align with your goals going forward. Now, the goal here is to understand how your brand is perceived, both internally and externally. Internally meaning that you get the feedbacks from your team, all right, and externally meaning from your customers or your community. All right, so getting an honest and accurate reflection is the only way to understand how and where you are succeeding and how you need to take course. So of course, you also need to know your personas. Your brand identity is the face that interacts with the entire world. All right, so whatever you create should accurately communicate who you are. However, one common misconception is that a brand identity is exclusively informed by what your brand wants to present. So this isn't entirely true. All right, so it also informed by what your brand customers want to engage with or are accustomed to interacting with. If your brand identity doesn't resonate with them, it won't be effective. All right, so people buy because of the brand. They want to be associated with the brand. Understanding who you are targeting based on the demographics, geographics, and psychographics. So once you have created the persona of the customer you are trying to target, it will be easier to actually create your own persona. Step 4 is to identify your competition. All right, building a brand identity is all about differentiation, making your brand visible, making your brand relevant, and making your brand unique. Do a comprehensive competitor analysis as you move through the process. Pay special attention to how your competitors present themselves in terms of common visual elements, trends, industrial-specific visual themes, brand personalities. For example, we once did a competitive research for a brand and found that all of their competitors use the same exact 4 colors. Alright, so this isn't uncommon, as many industries tend to gravitate towards the same visual elements. One example, of course, is you can look at Netflix and YouTube. They both use red color. Alright, so but it also reveals a great opportunity for them to differentiate. Now, step 5, you want to write your creative brief. So once you have completed the previous steps, you have the information you need to start designing. Alright, start with a creative brief that details the pertinent info you need to keep your team on the same page and ensure that creating a visual identity aligns to your brand. Step 6 is to brainstorm your visuals, right? So you can ask yourself and your team, right? Have your team brainstorm words cloud that actually describe your brand, or you can actually come in 5 to 7 descriptions to start. All right, the focus is not to freely associate words with other words, but the goal, right, is to actually bring those words to life through visuals. All right, so think about what those words make you visualize. All right, think about that in the back of your mind. So for example, right, if your brand service is fast, don't just talk about the words fast, right? You can think about swift, you can think about cheetah, lightning bolt, Zeus, anything that actually associate the words with fast. All right, so think about what concepts you can actually visualize. So here's a professional tip, right? So it is usually the elements that elicit the strongest emotional response, trigger additional imagery, and help you build a visual playground to go nuts in. So step 7 is to create your visuals. Step 8, of course, is to build your brand style guide. All right, so why this style guide is important is because today, if your designer leave, right, you still have a style guide, right, to actually make sure that your brand guide is consistent. All right, so whoever take over the job as a designer, they know what are the guidelines of the brand. All right, so a brand guide is a savior here. It's crafted the right way. It actually includes a clear, easy to follow guidelines for every part of the brand identity, including examples and use cases. All right, so once completed, make sure guidelines are distributed to the team, stored in an easy to access place, and regularly updated. So let's talk about social media branding. So as we are living in an internet-dominated world, right, it seems more than offline branding. We need to learn more about how to do branding on social media. So here are 5 tips to social media branding. All right, number 1, keep your branding on social media consistent with your branding offline. I see many times where people brand themselves offline very well, but when they go online, right, the branding is totally different. All right, so you want to make sure that your branding is consistent online and offline, all right, in terms of colors, in terms of messaging, in terms of visuals as well. All right, so you want to create your brand voice and decide your brand personality. Then make different personas for different social media. And create different accounts for different areas of focus. All right, so maybe your company has different area of focus. It could be health, it could be wealth, it could be different areas, right? But what you want to do is that different accounts, they have a different area of focus. So people following their account, they are probably only interested in that particular niche. Very critical is to know why you want to be on social media. All right, understanding why will actually help you to craft out the right messaging. All right, share your purpose on social media so that people with the same core value is actually attracted to your purpose. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today on branding. All right, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every day we'll be launching new videos like these to help you to grow and scale your e-commerce business. Now, some of you have been asking me, Jonathan, how do I work together with you? If you're interested to work together with me, all you need to do is to fill up the application form below. All right, so once you fill up the application form below, my team will reach out to you and we will arrange an interview. All right, only when we feel that we are able to help you to achieve the results you want, then we will help you, then we will take you in as a private client. I hope you enjoy this video and I'll see you in the next video.